Welcome guys to our very first Hack the Box room. Box we'll be doing today is called Archetype. So it's called Archetype and yeah, basically let's get into it. It's an Archetype server and we're going to enumerate, gain a foothold and get two of our flags. So there's two flags to be that we need to get on this box. So yeah, without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. So, brief introduction here. From this write-up it says, well, welcome to Tier 2, well done reaching this point. From now on, boxes are becoming a bit more difficult in the context of steps, usage of tools, and exploitation attempts as they start looking similar to the boxes in the main platform of HackTheBox. Starting with Archetype, which is a Windows machine, you can have a chance to exploit a misconfig in Microsoft SQL Server. Try getting a reverse shell and get familiarized with the use of mpacket. Okay, so we're going to use mpacket here in order to further attack some services. Okay, fine. So how do we start? It says performing a network scan to detect what ports are open is already known as an essential part of the enumeration process. This offers us the opportunity to better understand the attacking surface and design targeted attacks, as in most cases we are going to use the famous nmap tool. If you don't know HackTheBox, this is something that happens all the time from tier 0 to here. We just use nmap, honestly. That's kind of like the only tool we use for scanning. So let's see what they have for us today. Let's begin the scan. So now the scan is done. So the scan is finished. So let's see what ports are open. So we're going to see this one first, which is for the Windows RPC port. We see 139, we see 445. 445 is going to be of particular interest for us. This is where we're going to begin. Then we have 1433. It says this is an MS SQL Server 2017 version. Okay, and then we get all the details about it right here. Domain name is Archetype, which is what we're going to enumerate. We're hoping to get the details off and crack Archetype and then get a foothold through Archetype. So before we go directly to Archetype, we've seen the open ports. The next step is to go through port 445, which is the Samba service. We found that SMB ports are open and also that a Microsoft SQL Server 2017 is running on port 1433. Going to enumerate the SMB with the tool SMB client. Right? So this is going to be SMB client and the port the flag N for no password. So we're going to try and break into it without a password. And then this flag for L says that it allows us to look at what services are available on the server. Then we'll put in our IP address. So let's do that. I'm working with limited space here, but we'll make it work for the sake of this room. And yeah, I don't have the biggest desk out there. Oh no, I forgot. I don't have the biggest desk out there, but I have to make it work somehow. 95187. 187. I forgot the backslash. There we go. Just 4 of them should be good. And there we go. So we see that there's like 4 shares here. 4 shares are on this this machine that we're trying to break into. We have admin, we have backups, we have the C drive, we have IPC. Right. One that's of particular interest for us is backups. And the reason for that is because it doesn't have the $sign, right? So we don't have to pay for that. Well, that's not what it means. It doesn't mean we don't have to pay for it, but it does mean we don't need a password to enter it. So what we're going to do is say backups. I think there's the flag I need to remove. I think this is it. There we go. We are in. So let's see what it allows us to do. So these are the available commands for us while we're in here. So let's see where we are. Well, that just puts us exactly as we put it in. So let's see on the walkthrough what they suggest we do, right? We've already gone through all of this. So we're going to list the files that are here. And because this is a Windows machine, we won't use ls, we will use dir for directory, and we see one particular file that we will try and see for ourselves. Let's try and get that file, and that is it. Thank you very much. That is all you have to offer. So let's go back and find our file. We'll cd into prod. Let's just tab. Oh, not cd. What's wrong with me? It's cat prod. We open that, and this is some intimidating information over here, honestly. But the one thing that stands out for me is this word. Why is there a password here? Obviously, this is a config file, so it has some password for a specific user. We wouldn't want this on our machine, but they left it here for us. So the password is megacore123. For this, this is the user Archetype SQL SVC. That's our user. That's their password. Nice. They've just handed over their systems to us, basically. So now what we're going to need to do is use mpacket to actually enter this this machine, right, and get way more into it. So I actually should have done this before this room started. Let me see. You're going to get clone, and let's paste that link. Oh no, it's not gonna allow me to paste what I've just copied. Yeah, it's not gonna allow me. Okay, so I'm gonna try and type it in manually. Don't know why it's not allowing me. .com / what's that? Secure auth course. Okay, secure core / mpacket. That's our file right there. There we go. We have it. Great. Now let's go into mpacket. And then let's say, great. Let's say pip. I'm not so sure about this command really. Not entirely sure about it. I think it's pick 3. Let's see if that works out for us. It should. Great. Now let's cd into examples. Great, we've successfully installed it. Hold on, that's not what I'm trying to do. Right. Here it says that we've successfully installed it. So we're going to go into this directory, mpacket examples. Here we're going to view the available scripts that we have. And there's quite a lot. I don't even know all of these actually. But for us, the most interesting one that we have here is the MS SQL client. This is our script of interest. Alright. Where's this? How's the command go? It says Python 3 MS SQL. Yeah, let's actually see that. Client shouldn't have pressed enter there. Right. So this is a couple of the commands that we can do. It's quite an extensive list, really. Not that much, but you can find something out of this. So what we are going to do, we're going to use this flag. It's going to be a flag that we use. For us, it's going to work well. And what else are we going to do? Let's see what the walkthrough says. What we are going to do is name the user as well. Right. So we're going to say Python 3 mssql.python, name our user, and then the flag. Right. So let's do that. Just edit that. Maybe we'll say Archetype SQL underscore svc at 10.1 through 9.187.95. Am I correct? Well, 95.187. It's 187, and then we'll use that flag that we spoke about earlier, because this is Windows authentication, right? We're trying to go through a Windows system. Why did I scroll all the way up? Right. But something else that we can do, we can also, when we get here, we can put in our password. I believe that's our password. We can put in our password right here just to be sure that we have the right password, and just like that, we're in the mainframe, right? So let's see the available commands to us. This is where it gets a bit tricky for me. I'm not entirely sure how all of this works, especially right around here. I'm not entirely sure how all of this works, why it works the way it does. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, honestly. But because we have a walkthrough, we'll try and understand it a bit better. So it says here, this help option describes the very basic functionalities it offers, which means that we need to perform further research on this in order to understand the inner workings of each feature. And then we have an article here that I need to go through, honestly. And it says as a first step, we need to check what is the role we have in the server. We'll use the command found in the above cheat sheet. So we'll go through our role, and it will say 1. And it says output is 1, which translates to true. Right, so this is a Boolean output. In previous cheat sheets, we found also how to set up the command execution through the xpcmd shell. And then they just give us the commands to go through, right? One thing I do know is that this one will not go through without having to activate xpcmd shell. So we're going to have to start with xpcmd shell enable, right, before we actually begin here. And then we'll go to the next step and on, right? So let's start with enable. Let's get our help, and we have our help here. This is the command we need. All right, let's see if it pastes the, okay, now. Right, there we go. Then we'll have to reconfigure. Nice. Then we'll start with these ones. Exec xpcmd shell net user xpcmd shell net user. Is there anything else after that? It's just that. Yes, and then we'll close that. Great, the command is completed successfully. Okay, that's great. So what's our next step? The next step is to sp configure show advanced options. Okay, let's start with that. That's the rest of the command. Show advanced options. And we will put it as 1 for true. And then we'll do that. Oh. Yep, I missed right here. Should work. Great stuff. Yeah, great stuff. Then we'll just reconfigure that. And it goes through. Then our last one is xpcmd shell. Hold on. Yeah. Is there space between the shell? Oh, okay, my mistake. Please bear with me, guys. This is my first time to xpcmd shell. That should work. There we go. So we're done with those, right? Then what's next? Okay, they're just walking us through that, which we've already gone through. So our next step is to find out who we are, right? Because we don't know who we are, apparently. So let's do that. And this will help us actually determine our rights in the system, the privileges that we have. I missed it. There we says null here, which is very interesting. But yes, it says Archetype SQL SVC. That's the user we logged in with. So it says finally we managed to get a command execution. Now we will attempt to get a stable reverse shell. We will upload the nc64.exe binary to the target machine and execute an interactive CMD process on our listening port. Right, so we'll download the binary here. It gives us binary right here. My goodness, this is going to be a problem. Okay, so they give us a link right here to download the binary for the NC64 for our reverse shell. So what we'll do is open Firefox. Right, we'll open Firefox and we'll just there's that link. Just copy that link and then we'll go here, put that in there, and then we'll hit download. We'll save it right there. Great. Now we have the file on our system. Let's open another terminal here just to check it. And oh, I forgot. I'm gonna have to cd into downloads, and then there it is, our file of interest. Great. Now that we have it, what's next? We navigate to the folder and then start the simple HTTP server, then the netcat listener in a different tab by using the following commands. Okay, so we're gonna open two terminals. All right, we're gonna open two terminals for this command, and then we're gonna open another one for this command. Right, this is to set up a netcat listener, right, and this one is just for the server. To set up our system as a server so that it can pull from it. Right. What's the first one again? Actually, I can just copy this instead. And just put that right in there. I'll paste. Let's minimize this window. And paste right there. It doesn't want to go through because port 80 is currently in use. So I'm going to put it on port 8080. You can choose whatever port you want, but I'm choosing this one. We can't use port 80 because we're using this machine through HTTP, which is port 80. So it can't have two processes running on the same port. So that's what we'll do on port 8080, and now it's waiting for a session. Right? Cool. We'll open another one. We'll also make this one small. Hold up. Paste that right in there, and then we'll set up the listener. Great. Now we have three terminals, just like proper hackers. Right. In order to upload the binary in the target system, we need to find the appropriate folder for that. We will be using PowerShell for the following task, since it gives us much more features than the regular command prompt. In order to use it, we will have to specify it each time we want to execute it until we get the reverse shell. To do that, we will use the following syntax: PowerShell C command. Right? C is for execute. Well, they just said that. We'll print the current working directory by issuing the following. We found the folder. We'll replace the binary. So they've basically simplified our work here by finding the folder for us, right? Otherwise, we'd have to find it ourselves. But they've already found the folder to place the binary. To do that, we'll use the wget alias within PowerShell, right? Wget is actually just an alias for invoke web request, right? This is a PowerShell tool. So this is what we're going to do. This is the command. that we're gonna put in right there. Let's see. Let's put it right here. Let's see. And that's the result we get. We are on a Windows system. I mean, we already knew that, but helps to just get validated. As a user, we don't have enough privileges to upload files in a system directory, and only user administrator can perform actions with higher privileges. We need to change the current working directory somewhere in the home directory of our user where it will be possible to write. After a quick enumeration, we found that downloads is working. Again, simplified our work. Perfectly for us to place our binary. In order to do that, we are going to use the wget tool within PowerShell. And this is going to be our command. Right? Where's that? Let's see. Yes, let's put that right in there. Right? Let's paste that. But this is not going to work for us. Right? Oh, I forgot. We need to change the IP. Can't just paste that right there. Our IP is right up here. So this is the IP we're going to put in here. Because it has to pull it from our system. But this is still not going to. Oh no. Oh no. This did not copy the command I asked it to copy. Let's see if we paste that again. Yeah, that is not what I asked for. Okay, so we're going to have to type it ourselves. We're going to have to type in the command ourselves. So it goes xp cmd shell PowerShell C, and then we'll cd into the C drive. Go into users, and then our user is SQL SVC. We'll go into downloads, right, and then we'll get from our system let's see what the command says. This is where I actually have to type in the commands myself, honestly. NC64 exe. That's actually correct. Yes, I missed the HTTP as well. Right. No, I ever did that. Let's go right down there. This is our command, right? HTTP, put in our IP. Oh no, that's what I did. NC64.exe. Now, out file, how we want it saved. Let's specify that. This is how we want it saved, as nc64.exe. Yeah, we're gonna have to close that into quotations, but this will not work for us. This will not work for us, right? Of course, I made a mistake here by not giving it space, but because we specified our machine to be on port 8080, it's not going to go through with the normal one, because it's going to assume that it's going through port 80 and that it won't find the file. So you have to specify that it's 8080, and here it says the file is not found. How? Oh, okay, I think I see why. Let's see the into downloads. That's what I did. We actually have to be in that directory where we want the file to be found, and then we get the file this time. That's why we got the code 200 right here, because we were able to get the file. So since that is going well, what are we going to do? We're going to bind the CMD through the netcat listener, through the netcat to our listener. Sorry. So this is the command that we're going to need to put in, and just like the last time, we're going to have to type this in, because I'm not sure how they configured this parent machine here, but copying anything, the commands and whatnot, is a nightmare. It is a nightmare. It just chops things up, edits them for you. So we're gonna have to do it ourselves, which is a pain, honestly. And this is what makes me regret using the parent machine instead of OpenVPN. But yeah, I kind of didn't have a choice, because my OpenVPN connection was not strong enough, so I had to resort to this machine. So didn't have a powerful internet at the time, so I don't have a powerful network. Let me just put it that way. I don't have a powerful network, so that's not working well for me. Because I could have been on Kali and using Kali Linux instead, but I'm stuck here, typing commands one by one. Downloads. Okay, so we're finally done typing on this command. Let us see what it does for us. Right, let's press enter. Oh, there we are. We're logged in on this terminal right here. So then let's find out what we can do. But what is in here first? We just have our NC file. We're going to navigate to the desktop, directory, and then when we get there, we're going to find our first flag. This is our flag right here. You'll open that yourself and find the flag. I've already done that. Yeah, we logged in with this user. The flag is on the desktop. We've already done that. So to our second flag then, we need to do some privilege escalation. And we're going to do that through Let me say copy this link address and paste it here instead of opening a new tab. We're going to download WinPs. Okay, I should have done it that way. Where is that? So yeah, for privilege escalation, we're going to use a tool called WinPs, which can automate a big part of the enumeration process in the target system. You can find more information for enumerating Windows system for privilege escalation parts in the HackTheBox module, Windows privilege escalation. So if you have the time, honestly, if you value Windows privilege escalation, this is your go-to, honestly. So enjoy that. It is possible to download WinPs from here, which we've already copied the link for ourselves. We'll transfer it to our target system by using once more the Python HTTP server. We'll set it up. Ours is already set up. And then on the target system, we'll execute the wget command in order to download the program from our system. The file will be downloaded in the directory from which the wget command was run. We will use PowerShell for all our commands. So let's see if we can copy this and paste it there, and I hope it, oh no, I forgot. Let's cancel that. So let's download it first. Let's start there. Let's download the file. On downloads again. Hold up. That won't work. Hold on. Okay, I didn't copy this. Copy link address. Then go into. Okay, so clearly I have to paste it here. And that should get us the file, and we'll download it and put it to our downloads. And then we'll pull it. We've already set this up, we just haven't taken it down yet. So right here, we're going to type the first command being PowerShell. Then this PS right here is our sign that we are now on the PowerShell command command terminal. Then we'll execute the wget HTTP, and then we'll pull from our system. Right? Let's do that. HTTP. Just so you know, this this command line from this step right here does not allow errors. So if you're making mistakes here, it's too bad, honestly. You're gonna have to type it all over again. Right. And then our file is npz.exe, right? And the way we would like it saved is the same. .exe. That's the command, right? Got it right? There we go. Well, it did not find it. Oh, that's why. Okay, that's why. My bad. See, it will not go back and type all that again. So I have to type it all over again, one by one. Right, so let's see. Okay, we start there. Let's get it from our HTTP server in 10.10.14.216. I'm on port 8080. keys x64 this time. Let's not forget that one. And then we'll out file. Out file will be win keys as well. Let's say x64 as well. There we go. Let's get it. What in the world went wrong this time? Wow, there we go. There's our problem. For starters, let's go back there. I'll just copy this, honestly. Not typing that again. Still not going through. Why? Oh no. Oh no. I see I missed the / here. This is going to be a nightmare. Okay. Let's hope I forget nothing this time. x64.exe, and we want it saved as exactly that. x64 right .exe. There we go, we have it this time. Finally, we can move on from this nightmare right there. Great. So what are we going to do with this? How exactly are we going to use this tool? So we've successfully downloaded the binary. To execute it, we will do the following. In the downloads directory, we'll say the following. So let's do that. Why do I keep forgetting? x64.exe. There we go. But what exactly are we doing here? We're trying to escalate privileges, of course, but let's see where this takes us. Honestly, the output is too long. We just saw for ourselves. There's no way of going through all of this by ourselves. Otherwise, we'd be here for hours. But it says from the output, we can observe that we have SE impersonate privilege, right? Which is also vulnerable to juicy potato exploit. This sounds funny. However, we can first check the two existing files where credentials could possibly be found. Okay, as this is a normal user account as well as a service account, it is worth checking for frequently accessed files or executed commands. To do that, we will read the PowerShell history file, which is the equivalent of bash history for Linux systems. The file consolehistory.txt can be located in the directory app data, roaming, Microsoft Windows, all of that. We'll just take, let me see, we are already, okay. We'll just copy this and we'll say cd, and then we'll say Let's paste that directory we just got. Well, there's a problem. Honestly, this is a nightmare. You know what, let's just do that instead, and then say cd instead of correcting it, because we are going to be here the whole day if we keep correcting it. Right, there we are, and then we find our file. It is console host history.txt. What do we do with it? We type, right? We will type the console. That just sounds funny to me to say, honestly. Does it allow this? No, it doesn't. Then I have to type it out. Console host history.txt. See what is in there. Oh no. How am I wrong? Why did it interpret it as this when I didn't type that? Okay, see, this is what makes me miss the VPN connection, honestly. You don't get this on a VPN connection. Please open this time. There we go. So it has opened. We have the user administrator. Amazing stuff. And the password as expected. And that's our password right there. Let's just make sure we copy that. Great. Now we have the password of the administrator, which is amazing, honestly, for us, but not for them. So we've got the clear text. We can now use the tool psexec pi, again from the npacket suite, to get a shell as the administrator. Let us see. Okay. So we'll open a terminal. I'm not sure about closing this one, honestly. I'm not sure if we should close it, so I'll open a new one, just to be on the safe side instead. So we'll cd into npacket examples, and then we'll list the available ones. We need this one, right? Going to Python 3 psexec.py, but what are the flags that we need for it? Need to specify our administrator and the target system. Okay. At, let's see, 10. I'm on the money, right? There we go. It's mega cool. Let's minimize this one, shift this one here, go back here, and then we say no. got the password right. I was doubting myself there. Okay, so what do we do when we do? When we've done that, we're going to find our root flag, the desktop folder again. Let's just wait for the connection to go through. Okay, this is getting suspicious. I don't think I got the password. Let's copy that. Come back here. There we go. Let's see what we. Okay, I'm killing myself here. Let me not do that. Oh no. Shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. Great. Let's cd into desktop. Let's see. Let's see if this provides help on it, honestly. Okay, we're gonna have to go back then. We're gonna have to go back, then use as administrator. Great. We're gonna say is it small letter A or capital? It's capital. Administrator. That's where we hit it, and then dir. And there's our root flag captured. And you just type the root flag. But we will not open it here. Wow, my syntax was even wrong. But yeah, we will not open it here. This is how you'll open it, and there you go. That's how we crack the Archetype server. Hope you enjoyed yourself. I know I was stressed a bit, but I learned a couple of things, and there's also a couple of things to learn. So there we go, and as you can see, I've already gone ahead to finish all these other questions. But let's just go through them. Right? Which TCP port is hosting a database server? Right? That's our port 1443. That's where Archetype is. Right? 1443. What is the name of the non-administrative share available over SMB? That's backups. That's the one we went through. What's the password? We have the password, put it right in. What script from mPacket collection can be used in order to establish an authenticated connection to a Microsoft SQL server? That's MS SQL client. And then what extended stored procedure of Microsoft SQL server can be used in order to spawn a Windows command shell? This one took me a while, but it's XP CMD shell. What script can be used in order to search possible paths to escalate privileges on Windows hosts? That's psexec. Sorry, that's WinPs. Wow, was I wrong? What file contains the administrator's password? That's console host and all that. And then we submit our user flag and the root flag. I'm not opening those. So there we go. We're done for the day. Join me next time for, oopsie. Yeah, thank you for coming, guys.